Welcome to Of Course She Did, a podcast about knitting and friendship. Join our knit club for a good old-fashioned knit and natter, and we'll talk about all things knitting as well as the insanity that occupies the other 10% of our brains. Our knit club consists of hormonal women of a certain age, and you're hereby warned of any foul language and spicy topics.
I'm Ingrid, and I hosted our first road trip.
Of
course she did. Why did you host?
Didn't catch on the pointing.
We're getting used to this. This is our third episode, our second attempt at podcasting.
We should thank all of our 103 viewers on my first podcast.
I am so freaking amazed.
And it wasn't all me.
We need to remind our viewers to subscribe to our channel.
I don't know what that does. Is that a good thing?
Yes, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Just
please.
subscribe to our channel.
Because we're like checking every 5 minutes to see how many things there are. So Jody and Tanya and Ingrid and I'm Erin. Hello. We all have been meeting.
Hello.
We've all been meeting since October 2024 as a circle of women of a similar age with similar interests, and all of us more and some of us less obsessed with knitting. And on our first meeting, I was so nervous that I researched about 500 getting to know you questions because I thought, oh, what if we don't have anything to talk about?
We did use those, though, didn't we? We used them for a little bit, and then we just started talking.
Just for entertainment.
Yeah.
I
think we used them after we were chattering for a bit.
I remember, though, we only used a very few because we all got stuck on what's on your bucket list. And we all had a similar bucket list. And this will be the topic of a future couple of episodes, our bucket list trip. But we thought before we went on a trip that we had better make sure we can tolerate each other for at least a weekend.
There's a trick to traveling all together, when you're friends but not living together kind of friends. So,
and if you've never traveled together, it's one thing to socialize. It's another thing to go on a trip together.
Yeah.
You could really dislike each other.
Yeah, sharing a bathroom is next level.
Yeah.
And
just different interests.
And sharing food because
of all my dietary
two of you have some dietary restrictions that I don't have, and it makes it a challenge for me.
Yeah, but you're good. You're
it
really good
doesn't.
at accommodating.
Aren't you the one that made the bread for them?
Yeah, you're the most thoughtful.
No, did I make? I don't
Yes,
remember
you did.
making bread. Did I?
You've made lots of things that are gluten.
Lots of treats.
Because it doesn't I can eat anything, so it doesn't bother me.
And I just eat everything.
And Jody's good. She always comes up with stuff too, having family members.
Yeah, I have family members that are gluten-free, so yeah, it's easy for me, for sure.
So we manage the communal eating. Okay, let's talk about the road trip. It took very, very little planning.
Erin provided us with nice glasses.
Yes,
They were so cool. She's so crafty.
I made sure we had mimosas for the trip up.
Except for Jody, who was driving.
Yes, she
Except
had.
the
She had
responsible.
so she had ginger ale and orange juice, whereas we got the good stuff. And then I just kind of hand painted some glasses with our first knit club road trip. So I was pretty excited.
And then we stopped at yarn stores along the way. Was Nanaimo the first?
Oh.
Yes. In Nanaimo, we stopped at two stores one called Mad About You. And of course, you is spelt like a sheep, EWE. And the other one is called Yarntastic. We stopped at both of them.
Yeah.
I remember them both, but I don't remember what they're called.
I feel like we bought stuff, though. I remember there being a huge wall of yarn that was just touch-worthy. But I don't remember which store.
Mad About You, I think it was.
Yeah.
Was that the first one?
Yeah, it was the first one. It was in that little cul-de-sac kind of walking area.
That's right.
And
And
it
the
was-
little cobblestone outside it. You're right.
I think you bought something there, Erin.
Of course
I
she did.
Because it was a bit dark inside and you had to go outside to see your yarn properly.
Yeah.
And the owner was chatting with us.
She was
showed up.
fantastic.
She was so
So
good.
friendly and super nice of her to let us go out because the lighting was not great, and she acknowledged that and let us go outside. Yeah, I had some leftover yarn from my mother, and I wanted to make something a little bigger than the yarn yardage I had. So I bought a couple of skeins of yarn to make my full length arm warmers that go from my palms to my armpits.
Yes, that's
because
right.
I'm weird.
She was also the one that introduced how many projects have you got going? What? You have more than one? Of course you do.
Of course we do.
There's the one for traveling. There's the one for home. There's
the one in jail.
Yes, everybody has 3 apparently, and I did not know this.
You know what's really funny? Until this week, I had 3.
Did you finish something?
I finished something.
Yay!
I did.
what did you finish?
I finished that cowl that I was working on.
Oh, yes.
And I have 2 that are so darn close. It's not even funny. And they'll probably still take me a week.
So we didn't really plan on hitting all the stores. I think that was somebody's crazy idea. And we just kind of went with Google Maps, hey?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was the trip where Knit Sluts came.
Yes.
Oh, and we saw. Did we see the stick? Did you come up with
It's
it before you saw the sticker?
No, it was
we
the
saw
sticker.
the
No,
stickers.
I had commented that I had driven past an intersection that had a sticker on the back of the median
And the
that
sticker
said,
says,
And the sticker says,
I love sluts. And,
Of course you do.
and somehow that became the
I'm
Knit
sure
Sluts
Jody-
on tour.
I'm sure Jody labeled us knit sluts
Yeah.
after that.
she
100%.
takes it to the next
Yeah,
level.
Yeah.
And
totally.
And
so
then-
she started almost every group text after that. What up, knit slut?
So on the way up, we saw, I don't know, a whole pile of these stickers on the back of signs.
And cars. And we don't know what it means. So, like,
I think we
We
figured
do
out
know
it's
what
a
it means.
It's a store.
oh, is it a store? Because, if you are liking and subscribing after viewing drop us a comment and tell us why are there all of these stickers all around
Right, that say
Vancouver
I
Island?
heart sluts.
I heart sluts.
Is it an
Yes,
acronym, or are they just really
I
like
don't-
promiscuous people?
I don't, and no judgment. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
People are more promiscuous than they were, say, when we were all young. And I was reasonably promiscuous as a teenager, but I feel like that those lines are far more blurred for teenagers now.
I feel like you wouldn't have advertised that on the back of a median.
Amen. That's true. I would not.
Not
have.
without a phone number.
Maybe none
Maybe
of us
in a
got
washroom
out
For a
of
good-
stall.
for a good slut call.
So we all brought up
That was a good one.
we all brought up knitting, and most of us knit. Well, poor Jody drove, so she did not knit all the way up there. But we knit all the way up there, except for when we stopped into some amazing. We didn't just stop
Two
at
stores.
two in
There was the
Nanaimo.
third
There was
place.
another one. Yeah.
We stopped at a farm.
That farm, oh my gosh, I remember when there was that sheep in the field right beside it, and it was so brown and so fluffy and so fat.
Check out our Instagram and our Facebook for photos of us with the sheep.
We had to knock on the door because it was at somebody's house.
It was
And
yes,
it was
Yes.
so cold. I just remember being cold in there. But she was pretty excited that we spent money there.
Well,
It
also,
was very it was very reasonable. I bought a number of smaller, very cheap skeins.
I bought that hot pink. It was like that blue pink. It was so gorgeous. And then I knit myself a braided cowl and a braided hat with a pom-pom to wear to Iceland, which I did not get to wear in Iceland.
Wait,
but
spoiler alert!
that's a spoiler alert for another episode.
You'll hear all about that very
And
soon.
mine was it her sheep that she had made wool out of?
yes.
Yes.
Because Tanya had picked it up first, and then she changed her mind, so I grabbed it right away. And then she had dyed it like a purpley. It's like a purpley brown.
It's like
and
a
I made cowl.
Merlot.
Fancy Merlot.
It's a
Very nice.
beautiful, I don't know, what was it? Just wool?
Yeah,
Wool
just
mixed
wool.
with something else?
I don't think so.
yeah, but
I
it
think
was super fun.
And I picked up that huge ball of something gray. It's like wool and bamboo or something.
Did you
And
knit something?
I
with
haven't
that
made
yet?
anything with that. It's just a big, giant cat toy at the moment.
Oh,
Trying
the
to keep
things
it
you
away
do
from the
for your
cat.
cat.
So
But
her name,
was
I
an
think her
amazing
name was
adventure.
Sheila. I think it was Sheila.
Oh,
and-
shout out to Sheila then.
Shout out to Sheila. And then when we went to that 100-mile Fiber Fest, she was there. And I remember because she had that awesome haircut where it was short on one side and long on the other. And she was just really
That's right.
a neat lady. She had a booth there.
Oh, cool.
Did you say
I
hi
don't-
to her? Do you remember me?
She
No.
she
I didn't talk to
spun,
her.
I believe, all of her own wool there
Yeah.
from her own sheep.
That's
Yeah.
right. So that's the stuff I picked up, but then
Yeah.
she sold other
Yeah.
other kinds. Yeah.
I think mine was the stuff I bought, I think was from her sheep
Yeah.
as well. Although she would have had to have had a lighter colored sheep because it didn't have any black brown in it.
No, I think
And the
she
sheep we
rented.
saw.
She rents out her sheep to other farmers.
How do you remember this stuff?
I remember the useless
know.
stuff. I don't remember the important things.
Welcome
done.
to
Well done,
menopause.
But do you remember what you were knitting while we were up there?
I was unraveling the pink sweater, knitting the sleeves, unraveling, knitting the sleeves, unraveling the sleeves.
350 permutations of knitting and raveling. And what was that sweater, Ingrid?
Yes, tell us about your famous
Oh,
pink
this is my
sweater.
1986 sweater. Whenever I go to Norway, I seem to buy yarn and knit or attempt to knit something. Yeah,
And-
it's hot pink. The body's hot pink. The cuffs are all white with like a silver thread that you knit in with the white.
And it's your 1986 sweater because
'Cause that's when I started it.
Literally the year you began
Yeah,
knitting
I
this
was
garment.
1986. I think it was 90, or was it? No, was it 1988? I think I have had.
I
No, it was
thought you
1988 because
said
I was 16.
you were 16.
Yeah.
Wow. I
And
can't think
I
of
had the
it.
body done. It was the arms that took forever.
But
I
you
did get
finished it,
finished.
right?
I did. The arms were massive because in the 80s the arms were quite large.
Yeah.
So I knit it according to the pattern and then eventually made them narrower.
Have you worn that sweater?
Oh, I wore it once and it was bad luck. It was really bad luck.
Oh, there's a story
yeah,
there.
so what happened first? Oh, I show up at the rink to watch my oldest child play, and I sit beside someone that I know, but her and a friend are having a conversation, and I sit beside them. Hi. Oh, hi. And then it was just this awkward. They were in the middle of a conversation, and I interrupted.
It
and I
was
think-
about you.
It could have been. But they kept chatting, and then I was like, oh. Anyway, I call Erin and pretend that I'm looking for her, get up and leave. Then
I had no plans on going to
no,
the
you weren't
rink.
even there.
I
Then
could
I
just
run
see you.
into someone.
Hey, Erin, where are you? Oh, I'll be right over to that side of the rink.
Just
Bye.
pretend I'm
Erin
pretend
texted me
there.
and she goes, call me, just pretend you're looking for me. Then I ran into someone else I knew. Very awkward. There was something, a look in their face. I don't know. I was getting a really bad vibe. So then I left that area of the rink.
Oh my God.
Then I stood in the warm room and I ran into, I met a dad from the opposing team. We had a great conversation. And then I look out on the rink and there's my kid lying there injured.
Oh.
So I had to take him to the ER. So since I haven't worn it since.
and they lost the game. More important.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, not to that team.
Oh no.
No, that was the roughest team they'd played all season.
Oh, well, it's your
I
lucky
am
sweater if we won the game.
So sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, he was okay. It was a minor separation. It was okay. But yeah, I won't wear it again. I need to sage it. I'm going to get Erin to sage it for me.
Sage it.
we're gonna have a ceremony and cleanse all of our cursed
Either that
knits.
or I just
Cleanse the
unravel
sweater,
it.
or
and
you burn it.
I unravel it and I use it for something
it'll
else.
melt. It
No,
won't burn.
you can't. No, now that it's knit and
Sweet
it's been worn,
Jesus.
you don't. Yeah, you don't.
That thing
unravel
has
it.
7,000 hours of knitting, unraveling, and knitting. You cannot
Decades.
kill it.
So literally 3 decades.
I know that I
A
was
3
working on
decade
the
sweater.
Tree of Life Afghan in some sort of acrylic, fleecy acrylic stuff that was going to be for myself. And then I decided, oh, I'm going to gift it to somebody for a baby blanket. And then it wasn't finished. And now it's sitting waiting to be blocked. I didn't have enough yarn to do the
full
border.
Yeah.
So I knit probably 16 feet of border or something ridiculous and had to rip it all out because I didn't have enough. So that's what I knit. And then I had bought some yarn at what was the grinning sheep? What was it called? Joey?
Grin sheep.
I bought so I started a hat that turned out very badly. Do you remember trying on my hat?
Oh,
That was a funny night. Don't we have pictures?
We have pictures of you trying on the hat that did not work.
That was funny. That was such a good
We
laugh.
did have a very good laugh. We have a lot of in jokes now, based on that night, which is why we have taco socks.
My favorite that I still laugh about is Aaron. Oh, my forearms! They're so strong.
They felt very tight. They felt very.
And to this day, I think of Aaron going, "Oh," and I just laugh.
When I flex, look, even now.
She's got some formed forearms, ladies
So I
and
started
gentlemen.
sending you Popeye memes.
It's true.
And what did we hit you with something? And how did we get
No,
the
you
whole
were-
taco?
She was
Oh yeah, no, that was
a-
that
Oh,
was a,
that was a ping pong night.
that was a ping pong
pong
thing
story.
with Ingrid's husband. Ingrid left, and Kevin will never play ping pong with me again.
You never did tell me that story, but that was funny.
Oh, come on, tell the story.
No, she did tell the story,
I
but
did
he
tell
didn't tell me the story.
He didn't. Oh,
Of course not.
Kevin and I, well, we're all fairly competitive people, and Kevin and I were having a very heated game of ping pong, and we were, let's say, with assistance, we were relaxed and feeling fairly dramatic. When he hit the ball really hard and it hit me in an indelicate spot, I dramatically flopped on the floor and yelled, "Oh, right in the taco!" And then Kevin quickly said, "It's time for me to go." And he left.
He is not having any part of that anymore.
No, but it was funny enough that now we all have taco socks. And on our way home,
We do have taco socks.
we're on our way home. Is that where we stopped at the taco hole?
No, that was a hole in the wall.
No,
there
there was
no-
a restaurant called Taco Hole.
no, it was closed.
But I definitely got a picture. I definitely got a picture of me in front of the taco.
And then, so Aaron bought us all matching taco socks.
Gifts are my love
From a
language.
trip, right? You were on a trip.
Was that when I went to
Wales?
Edmonton.
Edmonton?
Edmonton.
Yeah.
Aaron
One day we're
travels
gonna
more
have
than
to-
the rest of us.
Wear everything that Aaron's bought us. Like,
Gifting
have our
is
glasses.
my love
and-
language.
Yeah, all the gifts Aaron's given us.
Yeah. So we are all enjoying, what do you call these things?
Mugs.
Soda waters.
Alcohol.
in some mugs that
Beverages.
beverages. Yeah. In some new almost branded mugs. So
They're so
we're
cute.
working on it.
Are you going to say it and tell him what it says? Shall I read it out? It says, "Fuck off, I'm knitting."
So it'll be
In that
perfect.
tone.
Absolutely. That's
In that tone.
That's why Ingrid is the boss during the zombie apocalypse. That tone is terrifying.
And my mother taught me the trick that if you drink wine in coffee mugs, nobody knows.
Said every hockey mother ever. It's not water in their water bottles.
Yeah.
It's not coffee in their coffee mugs.
So do you remember what you were knitting, Ton, when we went up?
I do.
Because we went
'cause
up.
it took me a
did we say
long
where
time.
We went?
We went to Ucluelet.
We did.
My family and I share a house out in Ucluelet, and it was inexpensive trip for us for the weekend.
It was so rainy, and so we were delighted to stay inside and knit most of
Aside
it.
from our one walk where my boots filled with water
Yeah,
because it rained so hard.
yeah, so hard.
I stayed in knitting because I was like seconds away from finishing. So I was like, no walk for me. I have to buckle down and finish. So sorry, Tanya.
No,
We
no.
went to Ucluelet and you worked on.
I was working on the Meadow Sunset wrap with that very, very soft drops air yarn in a creamy. white
so
color.
soft and pretty.
If anybody does want that pattern, it's a hobby pattern by JoJo
Oh, it's like the
Knitwear.
sleeves
Yeah,
thing.
it's
Meadow
like a
Sunset.
big, huge,
I
long
knit some of
shawl
those
with
too.
sleeves, and it's the one I knit is very soft.
It's like oatmeal Oh, it's so pretty.
And then I bought some orange, like fire orange yarn at that. What was it called? Yarntastic.
Yep.
And a little pom pom on the top that I made into a hat. What do I call my fox hat?
Oh,
your
right.
fox hat.
Oh, and I also knit that baby hat at that time. That took
Oh, the cotton one.
Ooh, with the
The-
colored.
the one that Jody said, "Oh, it'll take you 2 hours," and it took me 2.5 weeks.
But it shows just how quickly you knit now compared to 9 months ago,
that
right?
that shawl took me 4 months.
And
I was determined to finish it by New Year's, and I finished it on New Year's Eve at like midnight.
She
it
was
was
super
gonna be
fun.
done.
She was
New
super
Year's
fun
Eve,
at the
that's
party.
Right. She sat on your couch.
I just
knitting.
sat on the couch knitting. It was
Yeah.
going to be done whether it wanted to be or not.
Do you wear it?
No, I've blocked it. It's blocked. It's ready to wear. No,
You've never worn
I
it?
haven't worn it yet. No.
Oh,
Now,
now it's winter or
you know what?
summer and it's too cold.
you know
hot.
what?
Oh my
I think
God.
it's too long after all that.
Oh no.
Oh, shit on a stick.
Yeah. So,
I'm sorry.
so I just have to gain some
I
weight.
was just going to say, you just need bigger boobs and it'll take up more
Just need to
space.
keep knitting so your arms like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish you could see
Picture
them.
Erin
They're
with
making
her
this
spinach.
fist. and, like, threatening. It's amazing.
Your theme song when you walk in the door now is going to be beep, beep, Popeye the Sailor Man.
And Jody, what were you knitting? Do you remember?
I do remember I was knitting a vest called. I actually don't remember. I'm fully
Timbo?
lying. I had to go looking for to see what I was knitting. The Timbo vest, and I was knitting it out of Shelter yarn, which sadly that company is not making yarn anymore.
Oh.
I'm just looking for the pattern so I can tell you all about the Timbo vest. I got the pattern off of Ravelry, and it's by Gabriella Calderini. Mine turned out like quite form-fitting compared to what the pattern looks like. It's probably got quite a bit of positive ease. So when I wear it, I feel like everyone goes, "Oh my God, there's her boobs." So
You didn't get that from Ravelry. You got that from me because I
You're
said, "Oh, I'm gonna make that," and then you made it and it looked so good. I put mine on hold.
Oh, I scared you. I do wear mine at work because
good.
because my office is quite cold, but I need my arms bare, and so it's actually the perfect mix. I just feel like my breasticles look entirely too large in it, to be honest. But
I thought it looked nice on you.
I did.
Oh,
I
yeah,
did
I
thought
too.
it
I did
nice.
too.
we're always so critical of our own, whatever it is you're self-conscious about. You feel like it's the biggest or most obvious thing about yourself. But it's a soft gray, the Shelter yarn I have, and it's so lovely. It's so lovely. So that's what I was knitting. But I was driving, so I didn't get to knit as much as you guys, but I'm not bitter.
We were swearing while we were knitting, and Jody was swearing while she was driving.
Swearing at us knitting, I think.
And we listened to some great music, and we all kind of sang along in the car. It was a really fun weekend, and it really just solidified it for me at
Oh
least.
my gosh, completely
Okay.
bonded.
Yeah, that this was good, and you guys are all keepers.
And we could have charcuterie for dinner. There was
Oh,
like
it was-
no stress. Hey, let's have soup. Yeah, let's have soup.
That's
We're
the
just-
trip where I realized Tanya's exact skill set, because I said, "Oh, we went shopping," and I said, "Oh, we could buy some soup," and Tanya goes, "Well, I could just make it." And we knew that if we just bought like a carcass, she could make us amazing soup. It was amazing.
In for that deer, quick!
Yep.
Yeah. So getting away is not easy. Now, granted, it may be a little easier now that all of us have teenagers, but getting away is hard. What for you? What are some of the challenges of getting away?
I think my kids' activities, because I feel like I should be there. I've got a 19 and a 15-year-old. The 19-year-old, how long is he going to be playing for? If he's playing sports, I want to be there.
Don't want to miss
He's gonna
that.
he's
No.
gonna play till he's 70.
I know, but while they're teenagers, while they're still living at home, I kind of feel this obligation to not an obligation. I really want to watch them because I know before you know it, they're gonna be grown up and out of the house. So I kind of want to take that time now, like while I can. But I also am getting to that point now, particularly now with this group of us, I find it much easier to go, you know what, I'm going to do something for myself.
Yeah, I'm out.
Because I have the people to do things with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people who are willing to take the time to do something, and I can enjoy their company. I can enjoy your company. So
People who knit is what you're really saying.
yeah, people who knit.
But so are you saying it makes it easier knowing that we're all setting aside the time for you to set aside the time for yourself?
Yeah,
Is that what you
or
mean?
it's just there's somebody to do something with,
Okay.
right? Like, hey, yoga retreat, who's in? Everybody's in. Look at that, which is very rare. Like even just with my other close friends, trying to find the time to do. Well, I got this, and I got work. I got this.
Do you think it's also just because we all align so closely in what we're interested in?
I think so.
Yeah.
That helps.
Which is a rare and wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There's another what do you call that? Foreshadowing to a future episode of Knit Club Goes to Yoga Retreat.
And because there's 4 of us, you don't
And
necessarily
pull.
all 4 have to do stuff together. Hey, who's in? Well, somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that. There's often at least one person
Yeah.
who is free and is
Okay,
interested in
what she really
participating.
means is one of us goes, I need to go to the yarn store, and then as many people as can possibly extricate themselves from
They
their
do.
home life go.
We're going tomorrow.
Oh, you're going tomorrow. I'm in class all day tomorrow, so I cannot go.
But it's nice to have a group of friends where you can put that out there and you have like a 25%, 75.
You've got buy-in.
Yeah, I don't know how to
I
say
don't know the
it.
math.
It's numbers, forget it.
Ew, don't ruin our podcast
Yeah,
with
I know.
math, Ingrid.
3 people, there's a good chance you're going to get a yes
There
in
you
there
go.
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 1 in 4 chance.
Are there any like difficulties or challenges getting away for you guys, or benefits? Like that is such an
Maybe
evil
that's
laugh
a
that
loaded
Cue the
question.
evil
That's
laugh.
a loaded question.
Yeah.
It is.
It's hard to get away in that there's always something to be done with 2 cats, a dog, 2 kids, a husband. Somebody needs attention. Somebody needs help with something. My older son is 18 and he's quite independent. He's got a job, he's got a car, he does his own thing. But there's still that need to be there at the end of the day and just check in with him. I get into bed before everybody else, and then my light's on and I just wait, and they just come in and lay on the end of the bed and chat with me. And it's just, I make sure really, really conscious of putting my phone down and just looking at them and focusing directly on them. But it also, I think for me, it's always that if I'm going away and taking time for myself, it always means that my husband is 100% on duty. And that has to be very carefully thought out, that I'm not leaning too heavily on one person. But the benefits are always like, oh my God, let's go. It's a different energy when it's us 4.
I think we're also getting to the point of our lives where it's, your kids are grown. They're not little. They don't need you all the time,
Yep.
but it's hard for us to step away and break from that.
That's a very valid point.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you haven't had to make that time for yourself before. And now you're getting the chance to, because they're independent. They really don't want anything to do with me at all. And
Which is as it should be, but also then
Yeah.
you're kind of adrift, which is probably
exactly. And so we're at the point where we have to figure out what we want to do, because shortly, like my oldest is going to be going to, higher education and won't necessarily want anything to do with me or even be home, right? They're working now, and, I barely see my family, actually.
It's precious minutes that you get left when they get to
Yeah.
be their teens and late teens. You just know your time is limited, where you're like, I have older kids that are 30 and 31. And although we talk on the phone, I really don't see them all that often. And that's as it should be. They're busy. They have lives. They're doing their own thing. So these last minutes with your teens are so precious. So precious.
You
I would
guys are
give up
so
my
sweet.
sleep any time to listen to them talk it. But why do they have to do it at midnight?
I know.
And I think they also like having you there, even if they don't want to talk to you. They
I
like the
don't know that.
security.
I don't know that.
They like the security of knowing that you're there
If
and
they need you.
if they need you.
Yes.
They don't want to see you or talk to you, but they just, okay, you're there. good. But they're not going to tell you that. But sorry, Erin.
I don't know. I don't know that about my kids. I really don't. I seem to have an easier time just going, everybody's fine without me. Everybody's fine without me. So
Because you've set it up so that they're fine without you.
yeah. So I want them to see like, hey, this is how women can be. We can have our own thing. We can do our own thing. We can be happy. We can be social. We can be creative. I want them to see, you know, a realistic picture of what a wife and a mother is, so that they have realistic expectations for whatever fool wants to marry
It's not
them.
just that you're not just at their beck and call.
I
running
have
around,
no
like, doing
life except for them.
Yeah. You are my world.
Yeah. I love them, and I want more for them than just to be my world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have no
Well
problems
said.
It's
running away.
It's also I find that a hard transition in the sense knowing that they're kind of aging out and not that I want them to need me, but it is a shift. And I'm like, I encourage them to go off. But even when they go off, I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? You know, and yeah, go ahead. And then I'm at home really sad. But I'm happy that they're doing it because they shouldn't be home and they shouldn't be worried about me.
Yeah.
That's not their job to worry about me.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Well, on that bittersweet note, let's get back to knitting. And let me just say, thanks for joining us this week. A special thanks to our Techno Whiz Matt and to our sponsors, Chrysalis Counseling and Ingrid Stennerson, registered massage therapist, for the support. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook to see photographic evidence of our enthusiasm for yarn and to connect with us and a larger community of knitting friends. We have 103 of them now on YouTube.
Yay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Please like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.